Good afternoon, Tracy. It's good to see you again. Yeah, good to see you, Tamara and Linda, regulars, Bosco, Steve, yay, Tim, good. Got a lot of the regulars back, so that's brilliant. John's in as well. You were late registering today, John. All right, good, brilliant. All right, so, first of all, I want to say really well done. If you've managed to stay with all the course creation workshops that we've done, that shows real kind of dedication to trying to learn and know as much about it as possible. I mean, as you know, the workshops are really good because it's really full on, so you're with the courses, the online courses that we've done, although they're really in depth, you don't get answers as you're going through. So it's kind of like you're just following along. Sometimes, even though I try to explain it in the videos, sometimes it's harder. It's easier live sometimes because you can actually see me doing things, and you can also see me do mistakes, which is always a good thing. So that's good. So I have slightly modified the PDFs that I've been sending you. So I'm going to send you a link to the latest one for you guys to download, because there's a few extra bits in there. So I'm going to put the zip file, as I do every week, in the chat, and you guys can download it so that you've got it. I'm going to go through it anyway, but you can just have a look. There's actually 3 PDF files in there, and I'm going to go through them now. Now, we've got a lot to cover today, and I'm not sure that we're going to cover it all, but we're going to give it a go. We have got one open workshop Q&A session, so try to keep on topic with your questions. So we've been doing course creation. You guys that have done more than one workshop, just stay on topic, because I'm going to be covering membership sites and lives and all this stuff. So if we can stay on topic, then it means we can move forward quicker. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through what I've got here. And welcome to all the newbies as well that have joined us. So here we go. So this is a sheet that's in the PDF that I've just supplied you. And inside here, we have our workshops that we're going to be doing. There's a slight change here. In next week's live, we're going to be doing a live workshop on events and classes. Now, I know that's a really big one for you guys, because a lot of you want to do sort of live sessions with people and things. So it's really going to be good. And it's a good place to put it as well, because after we finish today, you'll have a foundation on how we see you creating a course. So it's how we've designed it all. But as we know, lots of you are going outside of that and trying to do things like live workshops and things like that. We've got live built in, but we're trying to get paid for it as well. So I'm going to be showing you that, and also going to be talking about you new features coming up with the live, which will actually make a big difference to how next week's one will work in the future. It'll make it easier for you. So all that's coming, like reoccurring lives and things like that. So week 5, we've got a Q&A session. Now, I've fitted this one in here because I think it's really important. Spelt that wrong as well as an HT, should be TH. Don't pick me up on that. Next week, that'll be corrected. So it's going to be a Q&A session. It's basically going to be covering week 2, 3, and 4, because these are the workshops we've been running. And we've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've covered all the fundamentals of it, such as like having a sheet where you've got all your title of your course, you've got summary, you've got in-depth information on it. So we've done quite a lot up to this date. So I think it's really good to have a Q&A session for week 5, because then we can answer all the questions from the previous workshops before we move on. And when we do move on in a few weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, we're going to be working on ideas for membership style sites. So we're going to go into more advanced stuff, and then we're going to go into really advanced stuff on the 7th. It's not, when I say really advanced stuff, I just mean it's thinking outside the box stuff. So it isn't, I'm not going to get you to code or anything like that. Don't worry, stay away from that. Although I will be telling you where you can go to get extra information on these sort of things. And then that will bring us to week 8, which is the Q&A session again, and hopefully we can look at a few of your sites and you can tell us how you're doing, problems you're getting. So we've got 2 big Q&A sessions. These are going to be really important for you guys, especially if you followed all these workshops, because I'm sure you're going to have questions. And sometimes we don't have enough time in these workshops to run these questions as fully as I would like to. So I needed to set up 2 Q&A sessions purely to back up this course creation workshop, because courses and selling membership sites is what it's all about. So that's what's going up. So it's slightly revised from last time, but it should be good. So we're going to run through this. Now, we've done the course creation tour. We've covered all that stuff. And we also done last week, we have done all this stuff here. Now, I don't know how you guys have got on with SEO in your pages and categories, but we're going to sort of go over a bit of that now. So that's good. And then today's one, we've got a lot to do. We've got pricing and tiers. We've got testing as a student. I'm just going to be checking things that that best practices for automated email and sending email broadcasts. That's authentication, then dripping your content. We're going to be having a look at the system emails and the automating if automation is set up for your courses, and arranging our courses by categories. And big one, all the way through this, we're going to be testing as a student, and I'm going to be showing you different ways and where we go from here. So next week's one is going to be all about live, so you can read about it in that workshop there. So that's good. So I'm going to move on now to the next PDF, which is our course. Oh, I'll open this one up quickly just to show you. Here we go. So this is planning your site. So we did a little sheet for you. This was John's idea to sort of go through what you need to do. And I've added a little bit more to this. So you've got this, you've got adding media, basically work through it. And then I've added here course specifics. So there's certain things in here that you need to kind of get in your head before you move on. So that is that sheet there. So I'm going to move on to the last sheet, which is a bit of graphics for you. I like using graphics because it very clearly demonstrates what's going on, more in a visual way. So here we go. So this is the new sheet that I've just made up for you today, and it shows with any course the user flow is the same. So in any kind of course or any situation, whether it be a membership site or anything, you're going to follow this same flow through. So you're always going to have a sales page to get people in, although you could bypass it. We're going to talk about that later. Then we've got checkout page where they're paying for it, and the thank you page, of course. And you've got what these do here. So the first one, sales page, is attract the user to buy using design and powerful call to actions. Then we've got the checkout page. Flex should be flexible. Easy payment method will attract prospects to buy. So when I say payment methods, if you've got Stripe on there and PayPal, you give them more options to choose from. So that, and make it attractive, sort of bring their confidence up all the way through it. Thank you page. We have got a default thank you page, but as you're going to see later in the other workshops, we're going to actually highly customize that as well to have a friendly message, to sort of build trust and assure them they made the right decision. Once they've paid for it, gone to the thank you page, they've then got access to the sealed area here. So this is, I was talking about this last time, and this is the course access page, which is a completely sealed area. You cannot send people straight to that page, even though you've got the URL. They've got to have bought, they've actually got to have bought it, or you need to have added them to the course for them to get access to that page. And that goes the same for the course player as well. You know, you have the curriculum, you click and you go into it. The course player is part of this as well. And you can jump back between these two, back and forwards, as often as you like. But it's a sealed area, no one else can get in there. So this chart is to clarify that for you, because it's really important going forward. I've mentioned it probably about 10 times, so you'll see why later when we start working on membership sites. So next thing we've got here is standard scenarios for control of course structure. So this is what we're going to kind of get into today. We've got the basic scenario, which is the curriculum. So you've basically got a student works through sections and lessons and finishes the course. Voila, done. Okay. So you can also include automations in there as well as you can for all of these scenarios. But going forward, you then got curriculum dripped. So you've got dripped content. So that'll be content that when they enroll, the next section or the next bit of content comes out after a time delay that you set, and that is dripped content. Okay. So scenario 3 is added. So this is kind of like if you have this is really good for pre-selling. So if you started your course and you've got 2 sections in there and you just don't have time to get the other sections done, but you're working on them, you can actually add it. So users will buy into it on the basis that you're going to be adding to the course. So it's almost like a membership, but not quite, because there will be a time where it finishes. So that's really good for pre-selling. So you can get your sales in, get people coming in and buying into the course before the course is finished. So this is quite effective. I've done this a few times. I generally ask the students, if I've already got students in another course and I'm about to set one up, then I ask them if they're interested in buying in before, and normally give them sort of 20% off, and then they can come in early, and then I've got money coming in and I can build the course out. So this is really good. Now we have scenario 4, which is curriculum combo. So so what you can do is you can use a combination of 1, 2, and 3. So you could have the basic course, you could also drip content and also add content coming in. So these are kind of 4 scenarios that would work. I'm not saying these are the only 4. There's a lot of other things we could do, but with the course, this makes it very clear what's going on. So I'm going to add more to this and also check the typos that are in there for next week. So, but have a look at it, because I think it will help kind of get your head around what we're going to talk about as we move forward. Right. Okay. So with that done, that's all good. Right. So I'm going to now flick into the course and we're going to start carrying on with what we got. So what I want to do now is I want to show you the media types we're going to put into the course. Right. Also, John, if you wouldn't mind sort of monitoring the chat group again, like you have. Oh, brilliant. Okay, guys, if you're going to put questions into the chat, do it all capitals, because then it'll really stand out. And John can pick it up easier, and I can also pick it up. So capitals for questions, okay? Because if you're chatting amongst yourself, which is fine, we just won't pick those up then. We'll just pick up the capital questions as we're working through. That'll be cool. All right, so back on sharing the screen. We're going to carry on as we did before. Now you're going to be going, what? You've got upsell, you've got bump in there. What's that? Don't worry about this. This is just to show you the difference between upsells and bumps. And I actually did a video on it in the week. I think it was last week or the week before. I can't remember. But I've just set them up for it. Don't worry about these. Just pretend it's only this one for now. So this is the one that we were working on. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to show you how I've kind of designed it. So let's go and preview the sales page. So it's a little bit different to what you saw last week. Not much. I just made it look a bit better. So first thing you're going to see when we go on the preview page is this course is not open enrollments. Now, something to bear in mind, if you haven't got a pricing plan on it, you'll never be able to buy it. So you could publish it and not be able to buy it because you haven't put a pricing plan. So that's quite a big one for you to understand that. If there's no pricing plan, people cannot enroll in it. So you can have it up, but it's just not enrolled. So what we've got here is a little video in there, and then we've got a little sort of little CTA in there, little call to action. Then we've got a little bit about this, and then we've got the curriculum in here. Now, remember, there's nothing in this curriculum because we just built this as a skeleton curriculum. All right, but we're going to add media to it now. And this is what this first part is all about, media, finishing off our curriculum. So I'm going to go and show you now our course lessons because I've set up lots of different media types. These are all just test examples. It's not the proper thing. So in module 1, and you'll see module 1 will tie up with module 1 here. I've got in here, I have a PDF, I have a PowerPoint presentation, and I have a video. Now, this is how I plan out all my courses. I keep it all really organized. I think I mentioned last week about this. So it's all very clear what's going on. This ties up with this. Right? And that's really important for later. If you're adding lessons in, removing lessons, editing lessons, you know exactly where they are. I've seen a lot of people do to their videos and they just have them in one folder and they have loads of sections and they're not even labeled 1, 2, 3. So they can't find where the stuff is, or it takes them longer. We're all about speed and efficiency with this stuff. So, and I'm a little bit over the top with this kind of stuff. So here we go. Here we have, you can see this is module 2 now. And if I just bring this up, we've got a podcast in there. So I've just got a little WAV file that I created, just did a bit of audio, and then I just produced it out. Next one we've got is a PDF zip file. So you're going to see we can have downloads as well as PDFs. So that's in there as well. So you're going to see it's tying up with this stuff here. So next one we've got is module 3. And in here, this is a little bit different because I've actually got a web package, and I'm going to be showing you this, and I've got a Scorm package. Now, as it happens, this Scorm package doesn't work in the system, but that doesn't matter. I can just show you how it works. I need to check a little bit more about Scorm packages and bringing them in, and when I do, I'm going to produce a video on it. I'm going to show you how it works. This particular Scorm package that I've created is a video, and then I've put a quiz into the video, and I did all that using Camtasia. So that's quite handy to know that you can do it. You'll also notice that these files are zipped. They need to be zipped. We'll talk about that in a minute. So let's start adding this to our curriculum. Okay, so I'm going to jump in and I'm going to go to my curriculum. And I'm going to go to the first one. It's course introduction. And I'm going to open my folder. So I've got my folder open on my other monitor, by the way. And with this lesson selected, I'm going to go to video. Okay, so I'm going to select the video, and then I can simply take the video from here and I can drag it into here like that. And you're going to see our little bar is whipping along, and that will upload. So videos take the longest to upload unless it's a massive HTML or Scorm file, then it can take a long time. And downloads can take quite a long time as well, but videos generally take the longest to upload. So that will run through there. Even though it's a short video, it won't take too long. And that is done. So some of you might have seen that sometimes it doesn't show straight away. It's basically because Vimeo is encoding it. So it's just processing the video before it shows. So if it doesn't show straight away, don't worry. It's just because it's being accessed. So hopefully I don't have any problems with this. There we go. So there it is. So it's got this kind of checker here, this stripy thing. And that's basically because it's processing. Right, let's go to the PDF now. So I'm going to do the same thing. This time I'm going to select a PDF document. So PDF there. Again, I'm going to grab this PDF document and click and drag it straight into the folder like that. And that's super quick. There it is there. Now I'm going to do the PowerPoint. So I'm going in here, I'm going to PowerPoint, and we're going to do the same. So let's go to our PowerPoint. Hopefully that's all okay. Again, it's a very small file. So see how quick it uploads when it's small. And we'll have the PDF, and we're going to jump into the interview podcast. So I'm going to go down to that section, and we have our audio. So I'm going to grab my audio. So you see how quick it is when you get all this stuff all ready, you can just drag it straight across. And now we have a download. So we go to download there, and I'm going to show you this so you can see what they look like. So you can see which one you want to choose. Okay, and start upload. Oh, need to enter a title for this one. So I'm going to call this download fitness guide and click start upload. Okay, and there it is. So next we have 3. This is a web package. Okay, so web packages. So this will be this one here. You have Scorm and HTML, okay? So these are special packages. Guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then just leave this section. But I need to show you just so that it's thorough. with what we're trying to do here. So let me go to module 3 and let me show you what's good about web packages, especially in Scorm packages. I'm going to go into this one and I've got this web package here, and you're going to see it's made up of 2 pages, but it could be as many pages as you like. There could be media in there, there could be video in there, there could be it could be anything in there. Could be web files like podcasts, whatever you like. That whole package you can make up in here. Then it would be a lot bigger. What I've got is I've got 2 pages. Okay, so I'm going to open this up, and here it is. This is our package. So this is basically referencing from that folder. So you're going to see we're on page 1, but if I click this, it'll go page 2. So it's jumping between the pages inside. That's because it's a web package. All right. So we can upload it, but you need to upload a web package as a zip file. So I zipped it up there, and I'm going to upload it. So let's go and do that now. Let's go to Scorm HTML. I'm going to grab this and call it HTML web package. I'm just labeling this for your benefit so you can see how it works. And I'm going to click start upload. So a lot of you guys probably never use these web packages or Scorm, but it's good for you to know about them. The next thing you've got is select default file. This is the first file that shows. So if you guys know about this, you've got 2 files in there. I want to start with page 1. So I'm going to select page 1 and click select, and it's going to appear there. Okay. So next one we've got here is Scorm, which is very interesting because it allows you to have interactivity and actually can record. And there's services that you can use to create Scorm packages. All right. This I just did in Camtasia. So I'm going to go into the Scorm package here and just show you how it works. So I've got this one here, which is going to open up. Let me just click OK to that and close. And what you're going to get is this. I might have to turn this. I'm going to turn the sound off. Notice that little dot there. That's because there's a bit of interactivity. So if I zoom forwards and then we carry on playing, watch, there we go. So there's a quiz embedded into this Scorm package. So you can go take quiz now, and you can go, why must you paddle? Get into the habit for later, which is the correct one. Click submit answer, it says you're correct. And then you can continue like that. So very powerful Scorm packages, and it's important that you know about them because then you'll understand later, oh, Scorm package, if you see it anywhere else and someone's offering that to be able to create Scorm packages, then you'll know what they are. And of course, HTML package. Now, I'm not going to load that in there because like I said to you, it doesn't work. Next, last one we've got here is HTML, which is here. The custom code. You could use it here or you could use it here. So this is for you guys that know a bit about coding. So if you don't know and don't want to know, switch off now, okay? But I'm going to put some code in here. So I'm basically going to do a heading tag. So nothing too amazing here. Just going to call it title, and then I'm just going to close the tag off, and then I'm going to put a paragraph tag in and go paragraph text. And we're going to have a look at this in a second, and maybe I'll put a horizontal rule in there as well. So that's a bit of HTML. It's very simple, but it's a bit of HTML. So I'm going to click save to that. So it'll pop up in there. Now, also what we have is we have quizzes, surveys, and we have text here. So I'm going to, because we've been putting, at the moment, we've been putting one media type into each one, but you can put more than that. So if I wanted to just do some normal text, and this is what we normally do for courses, we can put HTML in here if you wanted to. You could also just type text. So normal text block. You know, you could just do something like that. I'll just put, and you can put media in there. You can put tables. You know, it's just a WYSIWYG editor, so you can just play around with that. You can do some quite amazing things. And like I said before, you could also use HTML in here if you know it. So if you go in here and I put something like H1, title, and then H1, and then close, and then I go back. That's now got an H1. That's why it's bold. That's why it's bigger, because it's an H1 tag. These are P tags. So if I click save to that, then you're going to see that it will appear down there. So you can also shuffle the order. You can drag them around like this. So let's have a look now at our media that's in there. I want to stay away a little bit from quizzes and surveys because that's its own lesson, and I might do that as its own lesson. But to add a quiz, you can click add a quiz, and I've done some workshops on there. But if I was to demonstrate quizzes and surveys to you, it's going to take a lot of time up. So what I'm going to do is in the replay, I'm going to do a video underneath. So you'll get a link to the replay page. Watch the one on quiz and surveys, and that will become crystal clear to you. It's just a bigger subject. And as a little note, quizzes and surveys are completely being revamped. So we're changing it a lot. And to make it easier for you guys, we've taken lots of information from you, how you want to do quizzes and surveys. So we're actually doing all that. So this is all going to change anyway, the quiz and survey sections, but I'll put a video in there to each of them on the replay page that you're sent tomorrow. All right, so let's have a look what we've done so far. Let's go in to our course access page and have a look. So here's our course access page. Of course, we're previewing this and we're logged in, so we can see it, but nobody else can. So you're now going to see we've got all these things in here. So I'm going to start with the videos. So I'm going to go start. Hopefully it's processed, and it has. Yeah, so that's a normal video. That's what you would see. Let's go to Getting Fit PDF. So this is what you see if you upload a PDF. So it gives you the little PDF player, and you can of course move up and down the page and do all your zooming in and all that sort of stuff. So that's cool there. Next we have Getting Prepared. So this is a PowerPoint presentation, and there it is there. So we can move through that as a slide presentation. Of course, they can make it bigger in there as well, and they can automatically play it, reduce the size down. So that's how it looks for a PowerPoint presentation. Next, we have the podcast here. Is a simple podcast demo. So that's my podcast demo, nice and easy to use. And yeah, good. So next we have a download. So it just gives you a little download. You click here and it will download the PDF. And we have the web. So this is the web page. Remember I showed you page 1, page 2. Let's click in here. This would be quite good. So look, the whole page has got this, but if I click, we're not leaving the page because it's a web package. It's actually put the whole package up. So like I said, these could have tons of content in here. You could have a menu system at the top, and you could navigate in here just from that web package. Now, we didn't upload the Scorm, but I demonstrated it to you. Next one we have here is the HTML code example. As you can see there, we can put all that code in there. So that's how it looks for all the media types we're putting in. And like I said to you, we can add more if we want to as well. So if I wanted to add another video into this last one, I'm going to do it now. I'm just going to go to the media library and just click one of these and drag it to the top. And now we're going to jump back into here and refresh. And now we're going to have the video at the top and the text below it, like that. So you can mix and match, and you can drag it around in the order that you want it. So brings us on to what is all of this stuff up here. So these options. One, we have enable discussions. So if we put enable discussions on, let me just choose this first one here and just enable discussions. And then we go back to here. And all I'm doing, guys, is I'm just holding the control key and I'm refreshing, or you can press F5 on a PC to refresh it. So I'm going to go back to this top one. And what you're going to see now is we will have discussions here. Yeah. Now, also, we can, if you look, I'm unchecking. As soon as I check it, I get this. And this says it's in line. So at the moment, when we look at this, we have this little discussion box here, but maybe I want it in line underneath the content. So if I check this, now I'm going to get that. So if I come in this now and I just refresh this page, not only will you have it on the top right, but you will have discussions down below as well. So I'm not sure why that's broken, but you can do discussions and post it there, okay? By the way, discussions are between you and the instructor, okay? Not everybody will see this. It shouldn't appear for everybody. I think someone had a problem where it was showing, but I think that they've solved all of that. And they can also paste the link, and they can also paste video link and upload images into there as well. They can also send an email notification to all members as well if they want to in there, or you can when they reply to it. So you can write things in there. So that is discussions, which you can enable. So I'm going to turn them off. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to enable free preview on this first one. So to enable free preview and actually see it working, I need to publish the course, because otherwise we're not going to get access to it. So a free preview means that they don't have to buy into the course. They can just check the course out and look at the videos, look at a video just to see how it is. Normally I do the first video in a section as a promotional video talking about that section, and I always make that free so that people can preview it, see if they like it, see if they like your teaching style, and then they're more likely to buy. So it shows a bit of trust in that. So I'm going to click enable free preview, and I'm going to save the changes there. And I'm going to go to this course. I need to publish it, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to see it. So this course is now published. So I now need to go to this page in here, and I'm going to do this in incognito. Reason I'm doing this in incognito is that I'm already logged in here, okay? So I want to do it as a new user. So in Chrome, I can go to the little bullets, and I can go down to new incognito window, and I can paste that URL in there. It's going to take me to this sales page. And when I go down, I've now got a free preview. So I can click through that and I can view it. I can't get to anything else because it's locked. So that's what the free preview does. Now, I want to show you another thing as well. Pretend we are working on another lesson in this section. Say I was working on lesson 3, so I didn't want it to become public. Even if someone's in the course, I didn't want them to have access to it. I can easily do that by doing this. Come back to here, go to lesson 3, and I can set it as draft, and I can save it. Watch what happens to lesson 3 now when I go back into incognito and I refresh it. So I'm going to go back one. Come down here and it's disappeared. So there was lesson 3 there. So even though I've added content to lesson 3, because I've made it draft, it will not appear. So this is a good way of working on your curriculum, setting it all out before, even if it's published. So you could publish it and have it on draft, and you could do that with a whole section. So every one that you've got in here, I could come down here. Let me just show you. I'm going to turn that one off. I'm going to hold on, just need to save it. You need to save it each time. So we're going to go into that one. Now, what I've done with section 2 is I've made both of these lessons draft. So what will happen now, because every lesson in the section is draft, is it will not show the section. So this can be very handy. So you can build whole sections out and make sure that they're all draft, and it's not going to show. So let me click this. This whole section will disappear when I refresh. Or not. It's probably because I didn't save it. Yeah, that's why. Okay, refresh. And there we go. So it goes module 1, module 3. Where's module 2? It's disappeared, and it's disappeared because every lecture or every lesson in that section is in draft mode, so it will not show, even though I've got content in there. So this is a really powerful thing for you to kind of understand as well, because it means you can build out your whole curriculum. You can turn some off if you want to update it, so it doesn't mess people up. So you might want to make it draft until the video is finished processing and then undraft it so that it shows. A ton of different uses for it. So let's save that and open it up, make that draft. Okay, so next one we got here is set as compulsory. So if you set a lesson compulsory, your students would need to complete that lesson before they proceed to the others. So if it's something like text or a PDF, you can't really monitor whether they've done it. So that kind of becomes a bit moot point, but it means that they can't jump through it. If you've got a video, they've got to have kind of watched it to the end, but some people scrub through it right to the end, let it play, and then they move on. So that's what compulsory does. Now, we've also got assignments, and assignments, now we have the ability to actually force people to complete it before they move on. So an assignment, let me go and create a lesson here in this one. I'm just going to call this assignment. Click save and click assignment in here. And you're going to have down here, again, I'll share a video. So I've got to share a video for quiz, surveys and assignments. And I've done quite in-depth ones on these. So, but I'm going to do a new quiz one, a new survey. And the assignment one has just been done. So it's pretty much got everything you need. It's just a little bit of a long one to try and explain, but you can basically put a title, tell people what to do. They can then send, if you put text input, they can send you text. If you put file, they can send you a file, so a video or something, or you can check them both and have them send both. You can also add media for them to download if they want to, or to view in there. And like I said, you can approve that assignment. So what will happen is you'll get a pop-up say in your assignment saying this guy has taken it, do you want to approve it, reject it, or resubmit? So if you say resubmit, they still can't move through the course until you approve it. Okay, so this is really, really good, and we've just added this. So this is a really good thing, and that was basically off the back of you guys saying that you wanted no one to move on until you've actually approved their assignment. Really good, because really good for things like critique and stuff. You know, I'm going to be using this in my courses to make sure people are up to a level before they move through the course. I think it's really good. So that's assignments. So that's our media types in there. So once you've got all of your curriculum done, you're ready to publish your course. So before I move on, I'm going to open this up and see if you've got any questions, because I know we covered quite a lot there. So let me just turn. Okay, guys, you can unmute yourselves. Got some questions. Right. Okay, guys, do you want to jump in and just ask me?
There was a question about uploading Keynote and Canva files. So Keynote instead of PowerPoint, or Canva instead of a PowerPoint as well. Right.
Okay, that's a really good one, John. Whoever said that. What you can do is if you can embed it, you can put it in there. So if you have Embed Code, which I know you do from Canva, you could put that into the custom code. You could just paste that code straight in there. So that's how you could do it there. And I guess the same for any other outside like Keynote or anything, you should better paste the code straight in there, I think.
Suggestion I offered was to convert them into PowerPoint, say, or PDF.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, that will work as well. But you can, I know you can actually put code, I've done it. You can put code from Canva, the embed code, and you can put it straight into the curriculum under custom code. You can also put it into pages. So if you look at our tutorials.newzenler.com, if you look at our Zenler page, if you go down to the membership, you'll see, I think it's membership, you'll see that we've got a Canva slideshow in there, and that's basically embed code using the HTML block into a page. An HTML block is exactly the same as the custom code block in the curriculum. So you can do the same for that. But John, you're right. You can make it a PDF, PowerPoint, and do it that way as well. Good.
Daniel has a question about using embed for video versus files. Will they still have to watch the whole video if it's compulsory, which he wants to do?
Yeah, it's really hard. There's a lot. I mean, most media sites, lots of learning management sites that make things compulsory on video, but you can always bypass it because you can just scrub right to the end and then move through. So even if it's embed, you could do that. But embed code, yeah, let me just show you. That's a really good question. Inside here, in the video option on the lesson, if you click the video, you're going to be able to upload your videos. If you've already got it in the media library, you can select it, but you can also go ahead and embed code straight in there. So if that was a YouTube video, you could just put the embed code in there, save it, and that would be from YouTube. In fact, if you look in the complete guide to Zenler, I've done that quite a lot with the Ask Zenlers, where I've put them into the complete guide. So good question.
And is the better practice? So if I've got files on Vimeo, for instance, is it better practice to upload the file to Zenler as well, or to use the embed code?
Well, personally, because our videos are already hosted on Vimeo, they're pulling them from Vimeo, so they're doing exactly what you're doing anyway. The only advantage you have with doing it from your own Vimeo account is Vimeo, they have extra features that you can put in there, like you can lock the video and things to a URL and those sort of things. But videos that are on the Zenler system are really on Vimeo, and they're just being brought in. It's just linked up with that, just like we do for Zoom. It's integrated into it, so it just pulls it from the source. So you could do it from Vimeo, but I don't see a point of that really, unless there's an option in your Vimeo account, if you've got a pro account, that you want to use that for.
Thanks.
It's all right. All right. So anyone else want to say something, or is that all questions we've got, John? That's good.
David, hi, this is Diana. Hi, I'm really new to this and I don't yet understand what embedding is, when it's used, and how to do it. Do you have a tutorial already out there? I can just go to that.
Yeah, I've done several on embedding embed code. I mean, all embed code means is you're taking a little bit of code from a site, it doesn't matter where it is, and you're copying it and you're pasting it into your page. And if you do that, then it will work. That's the simple way of saying it. Let me just show you like a YouTube embed code from YouTube. So let me go into one of these and pause it. Okay, so this is YouTube channel. This is approve assignments before continuing. Funny enough, this is what we were talking about a minute ago. So if I went to share here, I could go to embed code, and it gives you a code. Now, if you know what you're doing, you can play around with these settings, but by default, this will work really well. So if I took this code and I copied it, and then I was to jump back to our course. So I'm going to put it in the first video here. I'm going to go to video, and I'm going to go to embed code, and I'm just going to paste it in, and I'm going to click save. And what will happen now is we'll have a video appear in there. So if I go back to my incognito window and I refresh this, and oh no, I can't see it because it's not in the, is it? Yes, in the first one. There we go. So if I preview that, you can see, there we go. That's embedded from YouTube. That
is great. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really easy. I mean, anywhere that it gives you embed code, it might be, you might be using a calendar that has embed code to put into there. So as well as being able to put it into here, if it was embed code, not video, you would do the video code in here. So you would embed it into add custom HTML code, and you would embed it into there. And you can also do it in Pages, because inside Pages, you have what's called an HTML block, and you can put that in there as well. And again, you can embed it.
Okay, I have watched the tutorial where you taught us how to modify the HTML what to click on a page to open that window. So I'm familiar with that. I've been that far in the new Zenler guide. So thank you.
Brilliant. That's great. All right. Okay, guys. Right. I'm going to move on.
David, just one more question. Josie was asking something about Scorm.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it means the ability of making an interactive pop-up on a video.
Well, if you're using your dedicated Scorm package and it allows you to do that, you could do that. Does that make sense?
Josie?
A bit, yes, thank you. So it's a whole nother tutorial that I'll need to look into. I think it's a really awesome feature I'd love to implement.
Yeah.
And so from here, I'll go and find that Scorm tutorial.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, Josie, it really depends what you want to do. I mean, everything that you can do in Scorm, you could theoretically do if you knew HTML, you know?
Oh yeah, no, I don't. So that's, oh no, I'm pretty quick to learn, and I can, navigate through most of all what you have, but I don't know code. So being able to get that interactive pop-up overlaid on the video is magic to me right now in my head.
Right. Okay. Good, Josie.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing is with the Scorm packages, because it has been added, I know this is something that they might look at, but I'm not sure that it's compatible with all Scorm versions, because like HTML, transitional strict, and all the XML, HTML5, there's lots of different versions of Scorm packages as well. So what I would suggest is that you do not buy into a package, you test it out in the system first before you make the commitment of buying into an external Scorm creator.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. If it's going to be an extra buy-in, it wouldn't be something that I invest in right now. So thank you.
Yeah. If you find the Scorm version that they're using and stuff, you can always copy that and you can send that to support at Zenler and ask them if we support it. So that's always a good thing to do, guys. If you're using external integrations into the site, just make sure, if you're not sure, then send an email and ask, or send me an email and ask whether we can actually put it into the site, because sometimes they don't match up. Things are moving at different paces.
Okay, so it's a separate service altogether from Zenler that I would look into.
Yeah, this is for Scorm and HTML. It's for you to produce a package and bring it into the system. Like you produce your own videos and you bring it into the system. We just enable you to collate it all. So you can't create Scorm and HTML packages inside of Zenler itself.
Got it.
You can't,
cool. Perfect. Thank you.
Brilliant. All right, guys. Right, we're going to move on now because we've still got lots to cover. So I'll get back on some of these questions in a minute. All right. So I'm just going to mute you all just so that I can. Right. Okay. All right. So we set our course up, and as you saw there, you can work with it, looking at everything without the course being published. So you can go down and you can view everything. And this is where we move on to another area. So I'm just going to close these windows off so it's all nice and clear. So you haven't got this course published, and you can go in and you can view it through the preview. So you can view your sales page and have a look at it and see that it's all looking good. You also notice you haven't got access to it, but you can go through to other areas. So you can go then to the course access page. So that was a sales page we looked at there. This is the course access page, and we are previewing as admin. So we can go in and we can view all our files, and it's a really good way to test it, but nothing beats testing it as a student, because then you see what happens and what doesn't happen with the system as a student. So it's definitely worth testing as a student, that we will move on to. So what I want to do now is I want to talk to you about pricing plans. We covered it a little bit in last week's, but we now need to set a pricing plan, because as you saw, if we go to the sales page, you can't buy anything. The course is not open for enrollment, which is good to know, because you might still be working on bits, but you still might want to publish it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to publish it. I can see I'm not screen sharing, right? Right, that was lucky, wasn't it? Right. Yeah, so I can't believe it. Right, now I'm screen sharing. Right, so as I mentioned before, because I haven't got any pricing plans, I cannot buy this. There's no pricing plans, all right? And I'm also previewing it as an admin, but the course is not published. So let's have a look and see if we can see the course. So I'm going to take the URL of the course. Notice that I'm not taking this part, preview on. This is for admin previewing, okay? No one else can see this unless you're an admin. Let me take this URL. Remember, the course is not published, okay? Let's go across to our incognito again and paste this in here and shift. That's what we get. It does not show. It does not show because it's not published. So people have said this before where they've said, but I can see the site. I can see the page. Look, I can see the page. Why can I not? Why can't other people see it? It's because it's not published. And because you're an admin, you get access to preview it. And what dictates previewing is this little question mark preview on. Okay. So, but if I put this in, because I'm logged in as an admin, if I put this into incognito with preview on, I'm still not going to see anything. Look, because I'm not admin. All right. This is really important for you to understand. A lot of people have misunderstood this, and they thought by going in there, they can see it. Everybody else should be able to see it, but you're not going to be able to see it unless you hit the publish button. So because I've got no pricing plans in here, and I hit publish, my course is now published, and I can go now into incognito, and I can just take that preview bit away, hit enter, and now my course comes up, but I cannot buy it because I haven't set any pricing plans up. So it's pricing time now. So as I've said in my PDFs, and I've said throughout, inside site, to be able to use any of the pricing plans, you need to make sure that you have at least one integration set up. For you free users, it will be Stripe. You can also connect to PayPal, and you can use both of them. A big thing to understand here is because we don't take reoccurring payments on PayPal, when you do subscriptions, PayPal is not available. It doesn't show an error, it just doesn't appear on the payment page, all right? So that is really important. So we're going to set up our payment now for this. So I'm going to go in here, and we're going to look at it and test it as we go through as well. So remember, this is published now. This course is published. Now, because I haven't got any students in here, I can go and unpublish this again here, and I can publish it again. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so I can test my payments out, and I can look at them, and then see if I don't want it to be published today, I can just hit the unpublish button, and that will be fine. But we want to go through our pricing plans. So thing to understand with pricing plans is you can have multiple pricing plans. You don't just have to have one. So this is important because of, you might want a one-time purchase, and then if it's expensive like $1,000 or something, you might want to then give them a payment plan as well of like $300, 2 payments, 4 payments of that or something, a little bit more. So you can add multiple ways inside of there. You can also use free. Free is probably the easiest one to use. It's really useful if you've got a small little snippet of a course and you're trying to sell a bigger course. Free courses really, really convert well. And if your free course is quite good, doesn't matter how small the content is, you will get people buying into your bigger course. That's a fact, okay? So free is a really powerful way to get people in. It's more powerful than funnels. Yeah, it's a fully fledged course. They see it's free, they go into there. It's much more powerful than funnels or anything else. If you can get people on there and they see free, they will register with you and they will take the course, and they probably will convert better. I have loads of success with my free course. I've got one on there for basics, and it brings people in on the other courses all the time because it's really powerful. So pricing, really easy to set up. We're just going to click next, and it's going to ask us for a name. So we're going to call this free plan. Going to go, you can enter a little bit of description. So I'll just put in here description of free plan. And down here, this is the buy button text. So buy this course. Yep. Or leave it default. You can also add little bullets. So I suggest you little play around with these. You can set availability as well. Now this is a really good one, especially with the more paid plans, but you can set availability and you can set an enrollment start date and an enrollment close date. So this means, and make sure you select the correct time zone, but this means that people can only register or enroll for the course, so actually buy the course in this plan, all right, in the enrollment start date, when the enrollment start date is met, and they cannot enroll after the enrollment close date. So this is quite powerful. Now you could also, if you don't want to set a date in there, you could also set an enrollment date, and then you could say course validity, so the course would be available until a set amount of days. All right, so you could enroll them, and then you could enroll them after they've enrolled by that date. You could put 30 in there. After 30 days, they will no longer get access to the course. All right, so this, you're going to see this in all of the pricing plans, and you're going to see this in the pricing plan. You're going to see the buy button text, the description, the name, add bullets. You're going to see the set tiers, which we're going to talk about, and the community as well, which we haven't talked about yet. But you can set up a community per course, or you can leave it open. You can manage communities there. I don't know if we're going to have time to do that today, but that is basically it. So I'm going to turn availability off there and just have it like this: free plan, description plan, free this course. Doesn't make sense. Buy this free course. Okay, so let's click finish, and let's go and check it out. I'm just checking that that's not unpublished, that it's actually published, because otherwise it won't show on the page. So if I come in here now and we refresh, so I'm hitting the control, holding the control key and refreshing there, or pressing F5 on the keyboard, we should then have the option. What's going on? Oh, gotta just finish. Okay, something's going on. Maybe my internet's gone weird. I'll just put free. I won't put description there. Click finish. Okay, there we go. So we'll get that come up. So now if I go into here and I refresh, we are going to get free down here. So now when I click this button, it's going to take me to the checkout page where I can actually buy this course. Now that's not showing because I think I removed the checkout block, so I need to put it back in there. But I could buy it here if I put that checkout block in there, which I think I'll do now, just because I need to. So I think I accidentally deleted the checkout block. It's good for you to see anyway. I was thinking the other day that I've had no real problems with stuff not coming up on the internet breaking. And I was thinking of that today, and I thought it's definitely going to happen today. So hopefully it won't. So yeah, you can see I deleted the checkout block, which doesn't help. So I need to go to my checkout, which is under courses, I think. Course checkout here. Okay, course checkout with social media. This is a new one, by the way. They can actually log in using social media. I think I used that one. Let's put it in there, drop it in. Okay, and save it. All right, that's done. So if I jump back to this now and refresh, let's go back a page and hit this. And now I can enroll for it. So that's the free plan. I'm going to run through all the plans and I'll add them one by one so you can see. So let's jump back to our pricing. Let's move on to the next one. So let's add a new pricing. So notice I have this pricing that we just set up. I can delete it, I can duplicate it, and I can edit it there. So let's go to add new plan. Let's go one-time purchase, click next. And I'm going to put this in GPP, and I'm going to put this for 50. And I'm going to go one-time payment. And by now, let's finish. Okay, so that's there. Let's jump back, hit refresh, and now we're going to have two. So we got the free payment and we got one-time payment. And if I click buy now, you're going to see that you have that payment there. Also notice that your pricing options that you set will appear here as well, so you can jump between them. So let's do another one. Let's come in here and set up the subscription. Let's do £5 a month. Okay. And call this subscription. It's okay. I'm going to go through some of these details up here in a minute. So let's do that. So again, we have this set trial days. You can add bullets. Let's add a bullet. And I really suggest you play around with these as well and just have a look how they're looking. So I'll save that one out. That's a subscription set up for £5. And there it is there. Let's jump back in. Let's go back and refresh. And there we go. And you can see I've got the little pop-up coming there. I don't really like these, so I never put them on. But you've now got this £5 per month. So if I hit that, you can see £5 a month for all billing. Okay. Someone also asked about users. If they cancel their subscription, it will, after the time period that you've set for the next one, when it comes to the next bill, they will then be locked out. Okay. Also, the same is for payment plans. I know this was asked last week. If someone doesn't pay one of the payment plans when it comes up, it will basically instantly lock them out. Now, you might, inside your Stripe account for reoccurring payments, you have the option to set retries. So you might want to set that in your Stripe account to make it retry to charge to the card like 4 times. And after 4 times, if it's not successful, then it will lock them out. You can set that up in your Stripe account. Okay. You also might want to do the same for subscription as well. I need to do a video on this because it came to light that maybe that needs to be done. So I'm going to do that. So that is the subscription. So let's add a new payment plan. So let's go to the payment plan here. I'm going to get back to subscriptions because there's more involved in it. So installment amount. So if I was charging £100 for this course, then I would do 24 and I would do that over 4 payments. And I would do that maybe monthly, but you can set this to whatever you like. Okay. So you can do that, put the name, payment plan, and the rest I'll just leave. And I'm going to cover these things in a second. All right, good. So let's have a look at this one. Go back and refresh. And there we go. 4 payments of £25. So if I click the buy now, you're going to get this 4 payments, £25, 4 payments, £25. Done. So that is our 4 payment types. Now let's get into a little bit more detail. Let's go and add a new plan. I'm going to delete these ones out because we're going to focus our attention now on the subscription and the payment plan where we have some other options in there. So this is, I mean, I consider this to be probably one of the most important parts of this workshop because understanding or getting paid is what it's all about. So you need to know this stuff. So subscription, we're going to come into here and we're going to go, it doesn't really matter what I pick, to be honest. I'm going to go subscription £5, same as we did before, I'm going to call this a subscription. By the way, I could have edited those ones I already had. And what you've got here is set additional fee. So this is the additional fee, setup fee that will be charged immediately on purchase. Trial days are set. The additional fee can be used for paid trials as well. So if we set an additional fee, we take it one. So we're going to go in here. We have options here, additional one-time fee. So if you were maybe doing an art course and you wanted to have a subscription of £5 a month, but you wanted also to supply them with an art pack, you might do an additional one-time fee so that you covers the equipment that you're buying and the postage cost to send it out. So you could come in here and you could choose something like 100, and you're going to see that this fee will be charged immediately upon purchase. So I want to test this out just to make sure that it's all working. So we're going to jump back into the course again, and I'm going to refresh this. And down here, you've got £5 per month, buy now. And you're going to see that it goes additional one-time fee, £100. So it's 105. And then afterwards, it's £5 a month, all right, in there. So let's keep editing this. So this is the text that it shows, additional one-time fee. So we might want to call this, I'm pretending that this is, let's do it as surfing related. So added cost for our wax and leash, and save. Jump back, refresh, and now this will say what it's for. Okay, so they know that they're getting this extra for initial fee because of that. It's an expensive leash and wax for sure, but there we go. So let's go further into this now and see what we can do. That's our billing, reoccurring, yes. And well, that's it on that monthly. I'm just checking to make sure I've missed anything. Set trial days. Ah, yes. Okay. All right. That's good. So we also have here the set trial days. So free trials can be given for subscriptions. Students' card details would be asked on purchase, but payment happens only after the number of days of given. So what we can do, remember we've turned on set additional fee. So if you wanted to charge less for the first month, let's make this 500. And for the first month, you wanted to maybe charge, I don't know, you might want to incentivize. So you put it to 10. So this would be an additional one-time fee of £10. But now you turn on the trial days and you give it 30. So it's basically a month, right? So now watch what happens. And this gets confusing for people sometimes. So hopefully I'm explaining it well. Let's go in here now and we'll just refresh this and you're going to see what you're going to get. So here we go. Free trial for 30 days. And then it says £10. And then after 30 days, the trial then becomes 500 a month from the next billing cycle. So does that make sense? And you can see the trial on the thing as well. So you can go, let me just check. Trial for 30 days. Yeah, so that can be, so you could put a little description in here. So special bonus discount for the first 30 days, something like that. And then update. Refresh. And then you've got, it's not in there, where is it? Maybe I didn't save it. Oh, sorry. Sorry guys, I've got to go back one to see that. refresh. Special bonus discount for first 30 days. And then you can put £5 or something in there, or £10. And then they buy now. They go through to this and they see, oh, I've got 30 days, £10, and afterwards it's 500. So there's a lot of ways you can do this. The other way you can do it, of course, is to completely get rid of paying anything for 30 days. So we just don't charge an initial fee. We just say it's going to free trial days for 30 days. So we click that, and then that gives them the free trial for 30 days. So if they come in there and refresh, now it's going to be 0. They'll still have to put their card details in, because after the 30 days is then going to bill them or whatever you set it to be. So I think that's covered. We've also, you can also see in the details, it says trial days for 30 day. And we just added a new feature that if someone buys that, you can also extend that time. That's on our YouTube channel. You can extend the trial time. Oh no, I don't think we've added it. Oh, there you go. A little bit of a surprise for you. That's coming up very soon. So let's go now to add new pricing for payment plan. So again, not as complex as the subscription, but you can still do this thing where you're adding a additional fee. So you could do an additional one-time fee. You can also set the availability down there. We haven't got additional fee text. Yeah, you can put that in there. So we could turn that off and on and have an additional first fee of that. And we can't set trials though in there. I thought we could, but we can't. And then set installments. So you do have that additional fee feature in there. So that is pricing plans. So I'm going to set my course up now with what I see it being, which is going to be £50 one-time payment. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to go pricing plan, I'm going to go one-time purchase, and I'm going to do this to 50. Now this is all going to change when we do later workshops, because we're going to be adding it to a bundle, turn it into a membership site. All right, that's good. So courses published, let's just check. Back to here, refresh. All right, one-time purchase, that's it. So remember the course is published, so you can do all this testing, and then when you're finished, you can just unpublish, and then no one's going to get access to it. Or you can delete out the pricing plan, it stays published, but no one can enroll. All right, so that is pricing for you. So I'm sure there's going to be some questions here, so I'm going to open back up again. Okay, guys, you got any questions?
There are a couple. One is, can you have more than one payment plan for the same course? So my answer was probably yes. And so not, I don't mean like one-time payment, subscription, or payment plan. Is multiple payment plans. You know, we've got 3 payments or 5 payments. I imagine you would have 2 of those showing up at the same time.
Yeah, why would you, what's the reasoning behind that? So you would have like 2 payment plans, or what? Because you can add as many one-time purchases, you can mix and match like we just did. You could add multiple subscriptions. Yeah,
So,
I mean,
Jackie?
Yeah, it was just my question. Sorry,
Hi, Jackie.
I'll put my video on as well. Hi. Oh, shelving away. Yeah, I was just thinking to give different options of paying. So like paying in 2 installments or 4 installments or something like that. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can set up as many different payment plans as you want. You could also set up different subscriptions as well. So if you wanted to do it, say it was like you wanted to do, you'd have one subscription at £5 a month. You might also want to do one at £30 every 3 months. So you might set up 2 different types of subscription as well. And that's the same for payment plans. You can mix them up as much as you like, really.
Thank you. That's great.
That's all right.
There was another question about the one-time payment. If the one-time payment applied, say, just in the States and not in Europe, would you need to do 2 separate plans? Or is there a way of making it specific to the US customers?
That's quite difficult, because if it's live and it's on your site, unless you're using some sort of external way of logging IP addresses coming in, it would be impossible to do that.
So this was Laura's question about paying for art materials. In the States, they can ship them, but if you were taking the course, they wouldn't be able to ship it to you, for instance.
Oh, right. Oh, I see. Yeah. Probably the best thing to do is actually to write that on there. Is to actually put it on the pricing, so that it shows that if you're outside the US, we can't give you this. So then you would set up another pricing plan without that cost, and that would be for the rest of the world.
Yeah, so you'd have to have 2 separate pricing plans, one US based, one for,
Yeah, for sure, because you can't turn it off and on based on that. A very good point. I'm sure the guys are working on something to be able to nail kind of IP country addresses, so that so you could maybe show different. It would be a really good feature for have pop up a new one for each thing, or even be able to sort of split it so you could set up a separate page for each. When we get onto membership sides, we'll be doing lots of different things, breaking a little bit away from the way that it works with the dynamic blocks, creating and generating this stuff like course curriculum, pricing plans. I'll actually be showing you ways that you can manually create this yourself. That gives you the advantage of a lot more flexibility, because it enables you to do things like bypass the system and put payment buttons straight on from payment gateways like Stripe and PayPal, or even Thrivecart and those sort of ones. So I think with Thrivecart, it would be much easier to do those sort of things on country based, but it's not built into the system yet.
I can imagine that's going to be very complicated.
Yeah.
So a question from W. I'm not sure who W is. How would you set up pricing if you have a course that runs for several weeks and then want to turn it into a subscription afterwards?
Yeah, we've had this before where people have wanted to change the pricing on subscriptions, and our generic answer is they have to, you either unenroll them, or they unenroll and re-sign up. And I guess it would be the same way, really, if you were trying to do that. You would have to take them out. The other way to do it is to leave them, set a start enrollment date, end enrollment date, delete the pricing plan, put a new one in. So when they come out, they'll have to go back in and sign up. I know it's a little bit of a long way of doing it, but that's the only way I can kind of think of it off the top of my head.
I'm just imagining that perhaps when you get to the membership, we might be able to use that, because I'm doing the same thing where they take a course and then they are part of the group and they can retake the course if they want.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I know membership's going to be a big one. And although I've only put 1 weekend workshop, it might well be 2, because it's a very big, a lot of you want to do this, including me. So these things like reoccurring lives and all this stuff that's coming out is really going to help. And there's quite a few more features coming up that's targeted towards membership sites. So yeah, going to be exciting stuff coming up. But in the interim, I can show you how I would do things, and we can talk about all that stuff. Good.
Tim's asking about how do we link Stripe and PayPal, but I think there's a video about that.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Go into our tutorials site. Let me just. I know I'm not screen sharing. It'd be a miracle if I forget just once. Okay, so underneath, if you go into tutorials.newzenler.com, just go into the complete guide to Zenler. So join up here and then use the search functionality in there to find connecting to Stripe and PayPal. It's actually really easy, because inside the integrations, you can click it and it just connects to your site. You can actually set up a new Stripe account straight from the interface. So if you've already got a Stripe account, you just log in with your Stripe details and it will basically pull the information across. The same goes for PayPal as well. It'll log you into that area and it will pull it across. So you no longer got to grab lots of keys and things now. So we've made it a lot easier on that side of things. All right, so we all clear. Question on payment on live classes. Is it best to sell a course in US dollars or GBP? Yeah, I've got a question from Anita here. Best to sell in dollars or GBP? I don't know really. I mean, it's up to you. I do mine in GBP personally, because the rates are going up and down and stuff. I know my own currency, so that's what I do. But when I was selling my courses in dollars, but I've switched it all over to GBP now.
The question from Patricia about doing an add-on. So if you got the course and somebody wants to have a one-on-one lesson in addition to, how would you do that?
Right, so that's what we're moving on to now. So if we're okay with the pricing plans, we're going to go to bump and upsales. So we all okay with this? We're all good? Right, okay. Right, I'm going to move on to that now. So that's a brilliant segue. Took us straight into that. Oh, God, that's going so smoothly. I can't believe it. Right, bumps and upsales. So if you have a pricing plan all set up, and we have, and what we want to do is on the checkout page, we want to give them the option of buying into another course. Now, this can be a course, this could be a PDF download, this could be a live class. And when we get into the live workshops next week, you're going to see how it will work with that. So we can add that on, we can do it as a course. So in this one, for example, I've just created, basically I've cloned this course and just renamed it and changed this to blue. And I've called this bump. I wouldn't normally call it bump, for clarity, that's what I'm doing. So I've got it here, it's called intermediate level. So if someone's bought the beginner's level, they're going to look and want to do the, they're going to want to do the intermediate level, all right? So, I've named it bump here, and we're going to look at upsell as well. Upsells will appear on the thank you page. So we're going to get into testing it out now, how it's going to look. So let's do that. Let's go and do this as a bump first of all. So to add a bump, this course here, what we're going to do first of all is we're going to make sure that this has got a pricing plan. So I'm going to go in here. I think it has. It's £50, right? So that's good. This is our bump. I'm just going to check this upsell and make sure I've got a pricing plan for this. Yeah, I've got £2.50. All right. So going to add the bump into the checkout page. We're going to go into our course. We're going to go to our pages and we're going to go straight down to our checkout page. And we're going to click the edit button. All right, come on, speed up. Right, good, yeah. All right, so what you're going to see when you roll over this gold block, our checkout block, is add order bump. Click it. You're going to get a little side thing come out from the side. And this is going to allow you to add another product. So when they're buying, they have the option to click and buy another product. Now, later on, when we start working, well, next week, when we look at live workshops, I'm going to show you how we can implement that. And you can add that as a bump. So you can get an upsell in there, or upsell, you can get an order bump from that. So if you've got that selected, that's popped out. We're going to click down here and it's going to ask you for your course. Now, nothing's coming up. So stupidly, I didn't go into the course and publish it. So I need to go in there and I need to publish that. So now that's published, I should be able to work with this. So I need to refresh this page and then I will have that option of that course coming up. So while that's doing that, I'm going to jump across to the other course and make sure that that's published as well. Good. And I can jump back to that then. Sometimes when it's loading, I like to sort of jump around a bit, and then that just saves me a bit of time rather than just wait for it to load. You can see when it's loaded. So if you're on another tab, you can see when it's finished spinning, and then you can jump back to it. So it doesn't delay you then. So now I've refreshed that, I should be able to add order bump. And if I go to courses, I can now select this bump intermediate level surfing. So if I click that, watch what happens there. It just pops up. So if I go and no order bump, disappears, order bump there. And you've got a little checkbox there, and you can label this however you like. So if you didn't want to call it bump, which I wouldn't want to, I could change that and it goes there. I could also change this little image that I've got in here. So I could go and upload a new image if I wanted to. Not that I'd want to put that one up there. I'd put that one up there. And then you can also put the text in there. So I would like this as well, something like that. You can also put a description. This is the next level in surfing. So it brings up a little bit of a description there as well that you can add in. And there. You also have to choose the plan. So you might have multiple plans here. So we have only got one plan. So I'm going to click that, and then you're going to see that the price will come up. If you selected that plan, then the price will come up for it down there. And if you have a coupon, you could also put the coupon in there for that course as well. All right, so that's it. It's really simple. Then I just click Save Order Bump, and it's done. And if I now go into our checkout, and oh, have I unpublished it? I don't think I have. Did I unpublish it? Oh, yeah, I did. Right, let's publish that back again and jump back in, refresh. Don't need that at the end. And go down and go buy now. Then you're going to get this. So that is £50. This is £50. If I click, I would like this as well, bang, goes up to 100. So that is your order bump. You can put that in there. You can put one in there. So if you're asking, you can put two, you can't. What you probably do if you wanted two in there is you create those two courses, create a bundle, add the two courses to that, add them in there. So that's how you could do two. We haven't got onto bundles yet, so we need to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that with the membership area because it's quite a big subject. But that's how we can do an order bump. So then they can go through and pay like that. So next thing to look at is the upsell. So this comes when they reach the thank you page. So they paid for the main bit, and then on the thank you page you might want a little upsell to like, but do you want to buy like this little PDF guide or this little book I've written or something? So you could also do that on the thank you page here. So back in the course, we're going to click edit page, and we're going to add the upsell, which is a £2.50 PDF in this case. So generally I do one or the other. I'll either do an order bump or I'll do an upsell at the end of the pipeline. Using them both might be a little bit overkill. You get a lot of sites where you get, oh, now you've bought that. Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? And you have to go about 5 pages before you get through to the end. It really annoys me. So I don't personally do that. So here we are on the thank you page. So let's click add upsell. So what we're going to get here is you can put a little video in here. You have no thank you, continue to course if you don't want to buy it, and you can choose the course. So in here, I'm going to click upsell, and you're going to get this appearing here. You again have to choose the pricing plan. In this case, I've got PDF download, which adds £2.50 to my order. And you can also change this confirmation text as well in here. So you'll see that in there, and that will add to my order. But you don't have to have this video in here if you don't want to. You could delete it out and just use basic page builder stuff to change this text around. Anything outside of this box or anything in red here, you can change all this. So if I wanted to go in and change that to download, and then all I need to do is click save. And now let's go and check it out. So this is on the thank you page. So I need to actually go through this to test it. So I'm going to preview it in Page just so you can see. So this is what they see. After they've done that main order page, they'll come through to the thank you page, and you then get the chance to add this to my order so they can buy something else. So that is bumps and upsells on that. So I'm now going to stop sharing and ask if you understand all that. Okay. Oh, we've got some questions coming. So where do you go to create the bump and upsell courses? I assume just like the other types of courses, I have not created one. Yeah, absolutely. You, like I just showed you there, you have courses. So if you've got courses or you've got bundles, you can add those to the upsells or the bumps. Yeah. So any thoughts on pros and cons of whether to use bump or upsell? I've used them. I don't tend to normally use them. I don't like to press people. I like them to look and see, oh yeah, I want to buy that. I want to buy that. And remember, you don't have to use bumps and upsells. If you've got someone, especially new, coming into the course, like a beginner's guide to surfing, what I would probably do is send out an automated email, maybe when they finish the course, and I send them to that course. Maybe give them a coupon discount as well. We're going to look at testing a student where we're going to be setting up coupons. So that will be clear to you how to set a coupon up, and you can take the link and you can just email it to them. So
David, just a question on going back to the previous question that was asked, but if you wanted to offer somebody a one-on-one coaching session in the middle of a course, I imagine you could build that into one of the lessons and say, if you need additional help, click on this link and it takes you to another offer of some kind.
Yeah, you could send them into a course. You could also send them into, this is kind of like, this will be good for the live workshop because we're going to create a course. So that course could be used in the upsell area. It could be used in the bump area. You could send a link to the checkout page via automations. So there's a ton of different ways to do it. Like you said, John, you could actually put it into the curriculum if you wanted to as well. So you could put a link in the curriculum saying if you need a live session, and then it takes them to that course page. So if you wanted to hide that course, but it not to be publicly viewable, we could do that as well. And that's what the membership area is going to be all about, the membership workshop that we work on, because I'm going to be showing you how to hide certain content as well. Because although you're creating courses, like some courses you might not want to be out there, you might want it like that's a private session. I don't want that on that main site. So when we jump into the membership area, all the stuff we're talking about can be applied to what we're doing now with courses, but we're just taking it and we're doing it into a membership area. So it'll all come together. This is why I was saying to you, the only page that is viewable is to people that have purchased your course, your membership, your bundle, is the course access page. So why I'm saying that to you is it will be really, really clear later on how that will work and tie in with adding lives in there, interacting more with the students, adding more content in there if you want to, in a very flexible way. Because what we're looking at the moment is one course. And although there's flexibility in it, we can add lessons, delete content out. It is one course. You've only got one course access page. You've only got one curriculum. But if you had a course where you have multiple pages, multiple curriculums, then you can start really going mad with it and exploring tons of different ways of doing things. So that's why the membership workshop is going to be really good for people, because it'll all come together.
Just to comment on the multiplicity of curriculums and plans and so on, is I found it really helpful to, in effect, have an editor. Because when I've loaded all my sections and lessons and so on, you don't see the errors that you've made, right? You need another set of eyes on there. So good practice. Get an editor to look at it.
Yeah, I think that's with anything really. I mean, it's like a Facebook group, guys. You're all working together. You're all working towards the same goals. You're all trying to help each other to succeed. You're learning off of each other. Show your site. Say to someone who's who's helpful, who you've been talking to, because you're all kind of friends, we're all trying to do the same thing, and people help you out. By fresh eyes on things really does help. Even me, I'm working on my own doing stuff, and as I'm working through these things, I'm spotting errors and stuff that I've done. So fresh eyes are definitely key for sure. Who else has got a question?
David, could I just clarify something?
Yep.
I understood that on the bump, and that you're selling another course, and that's created in Course Creator the same. Was there a specific reason why you said PDF download for the upsell? Is that somewhere else, or do you just do that through a course as well?
No, that is when we get onto the membership area, it'll be really clear to what's happening with that PDF. But the reason I did that as an upsell was because it's not very expensive. So like if it's an upsell, it's right at the end, then people are likely to buy it. If they get to the thank you page and they see that you're trying to upsell them something like $500, they'll be like, oh, no way, that's like crazy. So if you've got something like a PDF like £2.50, you're likely to buy it.
Yeah.
And it's a way to incentivize. But if you're asking how that was done, what is that course? It's basically just a course access page, no curriculum, and in there is a link to a downloadable PDF. That's it.
Right.
And that will be really clear when we start working on the membership, where we're actually be getting rid of the whole curriculum and working with multiple course access pages.
Right.
All right.
Got it.
So,
yeah, thank you.
So at the moment, guys, we're working with one course. So understand how that fits together, how it all works together. If you understand that, when we break into the membership area, it'll all be really clear what's going on, because you will have the knowledge of all of these workshops that we've worked through to do. So so now what we've got to do is one last thing I've got to do that I almost missed was dripping content out on courses, because that's something that we haven't done. So I need to quickly share that. It's only going to take 5 minutes. I can just show you the principles behind it. I'm very cautious about time because it's 6:07 already. So I'm going to jump into this and we're going to get this done. So inside the course, we have the ability to drip. So we're in the beginner's guide. We've looked at upsells, you set pricing plans. We've done all these things, all our media's in there. And now we're at a stage where we're thinking about publishing the course. So you could still turn this off, but we might decide that we want to drip the content. So someone enrolls in the course and you might not want them to get access to all of the content straight away. Why would you do this? One, it makes them slow down. Two, you can drip content so it goes over the 30-day refund and then they bought into it, because not all of the content has been sent out. Personally, I don't use drip, but a lot of people do, and it's useful to have. So we have in the course, just go into your course. I'm going to go right back to the beginning, go in here, and you're going to see inside here, we have this drip feature. And it tells you information like everywhere else on Zenler. It gives you a brief bit of information on it. With drip schedule, you can easily time release your content so that it's not that it all isn't available immediately after they enroll. So you can drip your course sections by enrollment date or specific dates. Course can be a great way to keep both retention and engagement. Notice this key word, enrollment date. Now, if you've got an open enrollment, that's fine. But if you have you've got an enrollment of maybe 1 day, so you've got open enrollment date. Remember in the subscriptions, we had open enrollment date, closing enrollment date. You could set that, and then you could actually start to manage exactly when that content gets dripped out based on those 2 dates that you've written. So just bear that in mind. We're not going to do that now, but just mull it over in your head kind of thing. So let's go and enable drip schedule. And this little box comes up here. I haven't been in here for a while, so hopefully it should be okay. So this is all from enrollment date. So module 1, so is released after 0 days. Obviously, I want that to be released by 0 days. If I wanted a specific date, I could go in here and I could click yes, and that would I could then release by a specific date. Okay, and you can also set a notification email to go out to them as well. I'm going to do it by enrollments after days. So release after 1 day or 0 days. So that's basically going to get access to that straight away, which is what you would want. So the next one is, let's go week. Let's go week, release after week 1. This is from enrollment date, and release after week 2. So that will be first week, that will be second week, and then that will be third week. And then you save those changes and you have added, you have to do it each one at a time, by the way, like that. And now you've added drip schedule. So that content will not be available, it will be locked until they go to it. Under here, you have notification emails that can be sent out as well. And this is under the automations tab. So automations for you guys, I don't know if you did the funnels, all the funnel stuff, but we had loads of how to set up automations in here, and it's something we need to look at. You can, by default, if you actually don't have automation set up, it will send a system email out and you'll get that. But you can override the system email and force it to send automations out on enrollment. This is exactly the same as when we worked with funnels, and it's going to be exactly the same way in here, except there's slightly different rules. There's like on enroll and on course completion here. There's these roles here. So on enroll, on lesson completion, on course completion. So you can send out emails based on that from when they actually completed a lesson, or they completed the course, or they enrolled, and different actions can be set up on that. Now, with the time we've got left over, we're not going to be able to get onto this. So we're going to run this course creation workshop one more week, because I don't want to rush going through the automations or testing as a student. So I think for today, you know, we've done a lot already, and I don't want to just blow your minds. I've still got to do the video on surveys, and I've got to do the video on quizzes and make sure the assignment video is in the replay. But I think that's where we're going to end it today, because one, my voice is going, and the other thing is I think it's going to be a bit too much if we carry on with this. So if I start talking about all automations and when that's set up, and then I talk about testing as a student, I think I'm just going to blow your heads away, and I don't want that. I want everything to be really clear. Like I said, the week can move up and down depending on if we cover everything, and I feel that I'm rushing now, and I don't want to do that. So hopefully you guys agree. Let me know if you agree. I'm going to just unmute you all. Are you okay with that? Yeah, it can be too much to take in, you know. So I'll be adding on the replay. You're going to get the replay link tomorrow. It's going to fire out to you. Underneath this replay of this, there will be a video on quizzes, surveys, and assignments. Work through that. Next week, we're going to carry on. We're going to pick up where we left off. We're going to set up, I'm going to show you, test the actual thing out with the system emails that get sent out. We're going to look at those live. I'm actually going to log in as a student. I'm going to show you how to then bypass the system emails for course enrollments and set up our own automated emails. Next week should be the last week of this foundation, this grounding. So you know everything about creating one course. And then you're going to be in a really good situation moving forward, because the week after we're going to do this live workshop thing. I might even touch on it next week as well. So build it in, because this might not be, the amount of information I've got now might not be enough for the session. So I might break into live workshops and then break that the week after, and then do a big Q&A session on everything we've learned to date. And then we're going to move on to the more membership areas and tying things in with workshops, which should be exciting. But that is about it for today. I will give you a new updated PDF next week with added things in there to try and sort of maybe explain some of the stuff I'm talking about a little bit better, especially with the pricing and things. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Brilliant. That's good. So you've learned a bit today, have you? Good. Right. That's lovely. All right, guys, really good to see you all. Hopefully I'll see you next week. Remember that replay. I'll also put a link to the next workshop on the Facebook page. You're going to get the replay link first. So you've got the, in the replay page at the bottom, you'll have the next workshop. So, because I want you guys to get in first because you've always been here. So great. So have a good rest of the Sunday and I'll see you all soon. Yeah.